Now, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like this was just in the review that we did. If this shows up on a test and you miss it, that's a huge problem. Now, plant, water cycle. What word am I looking for with plant and water cycle? Transpiration. So it's one of these two. I know that photosynthesis is a plant, but that's not part of the water cycle. Now, would I have increased energy from the sun, increases transpiration, or decrease energy from the sun, increases transpiration? Which one of those would make my plant sweat more? A, not hard. Now, when I see on number 9 that it says a different substance is formed, what's the term that we have been using for that? Please stop your incessant singing, whining, or whatever it is. Chemical change. Which of these 4 things is a chemical change? Because I know that with a chemical change, a new substance has been formed, Thomas. Which one of those forms a new substance? We said that pretty much if you see something burning, you might want to choose that because that's typically going to be the answer that we're looking for. I'm going to clear my annotations. I'm going to move this up to number 10 and 11. That'll probably be the last 2 that we get to do before you guys have to head out to enrichment. Which of the following changes will result, I hate when this thing does this to me, and it's done like 50 times today, will result in a new substance? What did we say that we're looking for, Adley? This is a new substance. But what is this? Chemical change. And we know that with chemical changes, you have heat sometimes, light sometimes, odor, gases released. That doesn't happen here. Yes, it seems like there's gas, but there's not really any odor, and it's not a new substance when you boil water. And chopping wood is just chopping wood. The only thing on here that makes a new substance is baking a cake. Easy? Pretty easy, I think. Last one, and Penelope's already got her hand up. Probably because we did one that looked just like this. What will happen to an ice cube when it is heated? Will it change from a liquid to a solid? That doesn't even make sense. Will it change from a gas to a liquid? That's not what it is. Now, I know some of us said D because all that we read was the ice cube will change from a solid to a liquid. Well, up until that point, that is correct. The back part of that makes this one incorrect. And then back to a solid again is not correct. However, if you heat an ice cube to 100 degrees Celsius, it will definitely melt. And then what do we call it when it changes from a liquid to a gas? Daniel. It will then evaporate. Again, if you can answer questions as you're going through it like that, I think that you are going to be fine. 140. I might be able to get a couple more in. Let's just see what we can do. Then we'll line up quickly when we need to. Sure, nobody's going to be angry if I get some more done. A teacher adds 2 grams of chalk to 25 grams of vinegar in a tightly sealed jar. What am I looking at when I have a tightly sealed jar? There's 2 things that I have when I do an experiment. So this one is in a sealed jar. Anybody remember what that's called? Isabel? It's in a closed system. If I add 2 grams of chalk and 25 grams of vinegar in a closed system, that means nothing can escape. It's kind of like the balloon that we had when we did it in here. What is the total mass of the contents, Adley, after the reaction takes place? She says C, 27. That's because you're not gaining anything, you're not losing anything, you're just putting 2 things together, and the total would be 27. If this was an open system, some of the bubbles could escape, and then it might be, it could be A, it could be B, I guess. It depends on how much of a reaction you have. Which of the following should be the last one I'll be able to do, so we need to get back to class so that we can then get to enrichment. A change that can be undone. What's that other word that we've used for a change that can be undone, Elijah? What is a change that can be undone? Physical change. Let's see if B. If I put cake batter in an oven to bake, can I undo that? I cannot. That's actually a chemical change. Which one of these can be undone? Chocolate left in a warm car that melts. Can I then take that chocolate bar and put it in the freezer and change it back to a solid? You can. Clay put in an oven to harden, you cannot undo that. If you've ever messed with clay and made anything and they put it in an oven, you're adding heat to something, you're going to change things around at that point. You've done clay in art before, right? You molded it, it was wet, you put that in the kiln or the oven, and it hardens. You can't undo that. Even if you add water, you can't undo that. There's no way to undo that. All right, we're going to stop there. 6-minute videos. I got that and another video that'll be on there tonight if you want to go home and look at those. Like button, subscribe, notifications.